that. Up next is a chat with Senator Osita Ngwu concerning his achievements so far and his set goals for this plenary session. Stay tuned.
First of all, I came in and I became the chairman Solid Mineral Development Committee. And the first I did was to make sure that I put that committee in a position where it will create a good pedestal where Nigerians can have benefit for their solid minerals. The Nigerian solid mineral contributes very paltry amount into the country's revenue. So I moved a motion for the investigation on the reason why we have a dwindling revenue in the solid mineral sector. That was my first major motion in the National Assembly. And that was approved, and the public hearing is still ongoing. In fact, as we speak, the Committee on Solid Mineral Development is in Enugu and Ebonyi in the past 3 days, also in the course of fact-finding. And they've been all over the country. And different organizations have been invited to the Senate to present papers and submit their own documentations on how they think the solid mineral sector can be improved. So that's one of the major things that I did, in terms of motions. And I have different bills that I have submitted. My bill to establish Federal Medical Center in Enugu West has just been passed by the Senate. Also, I have a bill on the health infrastructure development bill, which has also passed second reading, gone through the public hearing, and will go in for third reading as much as possible. Then I have about 6 other bills that are all at different stages, which I don't have to name all of them, but in all, I think I have about 9 bills so far in my first 2 years. And I've also created several impacts in terms of motions that I have moved that are very important to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The unbalanced implementation of the federal character principle is one of my motions that has also been passed by the Senate, and it has gone into public hearing. Investigations are ongoing. MDAs are being invited by the Senate to review how the ministries, departments, and agencies are implementing the federal character principle. That has also, I have 2 motions that have been passed by the Senate and are under investigations. And I also have several other ones that are coming up, like the implementation of the NEL fund, how all the zones, are being carried along in the disbursement of the NEL fund, Nigeria Education Fund. And also I have another one on customs, which will look at how customs are dealing with seized properties, whether they are following the right thing, especially when you look at the act that established them. So I have had a very, very impactful period. And I also have one very interesting one that I co-sponsored about the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Funds that is being distributed to the 6 geopolitical zones, where some zones have 60 billion for agricultural irrigation, while my zone has 0. We are still on that. Thank you. Thank God the leadership of the Senate understood that there's no way a zone can be denied what other zones are getting. We got 0. 0, I mean 0. While some are 60 and 40 billions, and that is also something we even had a meeting about today, and we'll continue to represent our people to be sure, because that's why we're here, to make sure that what is due to them is gotten to them. So summarily, it's been a very impactful 2 years. Also, my constituents can tell you I have 81 political wards, and I have projects in more than 60% of those wards as we speak. They haven't ever had it so good like that, and we'll continue to improve. Remember, it's only one budget that we have effectively implemented, which is the 2024 Appropriation Act, because 2023 had already been done before we came in. So we're moving forward. And I have several programs, especially in education, where we broke a record. I had 20 learning centers for youths who aspire to write JAMB in Enugu West. And we have about 3,000 students we registered and tutored to write JAMB. And we gave them about 170-something teachers, smart teachers, brought laptops, put them through intensive CBT trainings, and the result came out, we have 80% pass rate. In fact, more than 80% of them scored above 200. And we have about more than 30 to 40 above 300. So we have people, I'm also going to follow up with the admission process with the schools. And also, in terms of providing basic needs to our people, is something they know me for, even before I got into the National Assembly. And in agriculture, we also make sure that we provide improved seedlings, fertilizer to all the farmers, and subsidize, also put money on the table for them to be able to go into the farm, especially now that the rains have come and people are in the farm. So we follow it up as much as possible. So all round, in all aspects, we have done well.
That happens differently?
No, every bills are important. And remember, we have 109 senators here. And if only me have 9 bills, it's not like everybody will have the same equal number of bills. So everybody wants their bills to go. We sit 3 times in a week. And we have a timetable, legislative timetable. So obviously, every bill that comes to the 10th Assembly, as other assemblies, may all not be passed. So sometimes we look at important bills that affect the lives of the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Sometimes we prioritize them. When the NEL fund bill came, it's an executive bill, but everybody understood that students who doesn't have money should have means of paying school fees. There's no way you can play down that bill and go into some other bills that has to do with constitutional amendment. That bill was very important. So we give it expedited hearing and expedited passage. The same way, when the tax bill came, irrespective of the challenges the tax bill had, some people who doesn't believe it, we gave opportunity for everybody to have a study of the bill. But it's something that also Nigeria needs to be able to get their acts together in terms of how tax are being collected. So it was a bit expedited, but we didn't pass it so quickly the way some people would want it to go because of the situation surrounding it. Everybody wanted to be sure to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. We had several seminars to study the bill, and we passed it. The regional development bills, initially we had only Northeast Development Commission, but the president saw the need. Not just the president, even that was not even an executive bill. Like the Southeast wasn't an executive bill. North Central, Northwest, South-South Development and Southwest Development Commission bills were bills that came from the National Assembly. But also, everybody saw these development commissions are commissions that are going to go down to the people to ensure infrastructure to every nook and cranny of the country. So it was an unanimous understanding that we should, in fairness, if we pass A and B, C, D, E should be passed. So we agreed and we gave it expedited passage. And thank God the president, in his own wisdom, has assented to it. You know, passing a bill here does not mean that the president will assent to it. But we also have powers, you know, in line with the Constitution to veto. But we haven't gotten to a situation where we have to do that because we have a good understanding and relationship, working relationship with the executive for the interest of Nigeria. So bills are important, but we can prioritize bills depending on how important it is to the life of Nigerians.
Senators.
Well, I think the ignorance about the National Assembly is something that we need to find a way to deal with. Truly and really, people don't understand even the functions of the National Assembly. But it's not the fault of the National Assembly. It's also in the social media world. Some people don't want to read. You just want to blame and blame and blame. You know, if we want to talk about something, you should do a research about that. So, well, we are greatly misunderstood because people don't understand what we should do. Some National Assembly members go to their constituencies and they are asked to do kilometers of roads. Where are you going to get the money? You are not Ministry of Works. People expect you to pay the school fees, rehabilitate all the schools. You are not Minister of Education. Some expect you to do farm. You are not Minister of Agriculture. Some expect legislators to solve security problem. You are not the army. You are not the police. You are not the Navy. You are not the Air Force. We are lawmakers. In as much as our function is to represent the interests of our people, not to protect. A lawmaker cannot carry gun and go and protect somebody. I saw when they are saying some Abuja politicians are respective, you know, some people carelessly talk. But the duties and the responsibility of National Assembly is clear in the Constitution. So the expectations are misplaced. We cannot build roads because we are not Ministry of Works. Where are you going to get the budget for? However, you can make motions on roads from like when the bridge in Enugu, there's a bridge in Enugu that collapsed. The governor was so proactive, Enugu State Governor, a very hardworking governor, moved in to deal with that road. However, I know it's not the duty of my governor to repair Federal Road. So I came here, made a motion, and the motion was approved by the Senate. Thank God also the Minister of Works was also proactive enough to go in, and the president approved money, and the bridge was there. They just commissioned that. So if somebody was expecting that somebody in the National Assembly will go and repair road, I don't know where you're going to get the money. But we will do what we have to do. You are the eyes of the people here in Abuja. So you need to check what is happening within your area, the needs of your people, and present it here. And do the lobby. Yeah, you can't write away lobby. You must lobby. The road in Ugoyama, one side is done. I took all the senators and House of Representative members of Enugu and Anambra to the office of the Minister for Works. We can ask him to come, because we oversight him. But because we want things done, we went to the minister and he invited the contractor, RCC, and we sat for 2 hours debating and discussing it. And everybody went home happy that we want the second lane to be done. Even though the president said, make sure one lane is accessible, but because of the accidents happening there, we want the second lane done, and we cannot sit in the office and get it done. That's where you now use your constitutional power and also your responsibility as the representative of the people to go and lobby and say, please, do exception to this. Let us get it done so that we can move forward. So, coming back to your question, we are widely misunderstood because people don't understand our job. But it's also our responsibility to do town hall meetings. You go home, I had one massive town hall meeting I did. I invited everybody. People were throwing questions at me. In fact, I have a platform that I created that I said, ask your senator. Not ask your senator. Any question you want to ask me, put it there, I will answer directly. The town hall meeting, people put all kinds of questions and I have to answer. And I have a way of feedback. In fact, I think I'm the most reachable senator in Nigeria as of today. No one person from my constituency, no one person that tried to reach me that does not get access to me directly. Because my phone is open there for everybody to have. So some who doesn't understand how certain things are done comes to me directly and I explain to them. So you have to put extra hours.
You make it easy for them to.
No,
What about
definitely.
those that don't make it easy for them?
I'm not going to.
So how do they get to understand basically what they should expect from their senators?
The truth is that having town hall meeting, any legislator living in Abuja who does not go home to have a tete with these people is irresponsible, does not know his job. Nobody needs to tell you that you must get to your people to explain to them what you're doing here. Because if they don't understand what you're doing here, how are they going to access, how are they going to understand what is going on in the country? The state governments are doing their own part, but as the representative of the people in the federal cabinet, the legislator, where the laws of the country is made, must go back to talk to your people. The constitutional amendment is coming up now. And between the 4th and the 5th of July, every zone will have to have public hearing in their respective zone. Southeast will be in Enugu. And we have sent out memos to all the governors. We are going to put it in the media. We're going to have, the Enugu State Governor is supporting us very massively. We will have the public hearing in Enugu. And then people will submit information that they want to happen. Even some who are clamoring for state creation, it is time for you to come and submit. Whatever you think is in the constitution, you think it should be, because our constitution has been very old. So these are opportunities for people to come and contribute. And we will articulate it and bring it here and say what our people want. Because it's about the people, it's not about me. I can come and go, but the interest of the people remains permanent. Well, insecurity is a big problem. And anybody who tells you otherwise is running away from the truth. We see what's happening in Benue, we see what's happening in Plateau, even in the south, in every part of the country. And as a National Assembly, we have also, there are motions almost every day about killings in different parts of the country by members of the National Assembly. And most times we just say 1 minute silence for the people who died. The next thing is we urge the federal government to improve, put more boots on the ground. And for the 2 years I've been here, we keep doing this every week. And it has not helped. So we think we all wanted to do things differently. Thank God, one of us came up with a motion, Senator Jimo Ibrahim particularly, and recommended that we organize a security summit where all stakeholders will come and make suggestions on the best way to deal with insecurity, especially as it affects them. Because the cause of insecurity in Benue may not be the same reason why you have insecurity in Borno. These places are different. So stakeholders will be allowed to come and make, it's going to be an extensive summit. Thank God I'm also a member of the planning committee. So I'll play a very active role. So when that is done, we will invite all the security forces. We will invite the presidency to be there on the table to everybody that some people from the North Central have presented this as not just to talk about it and recommendations on how these things can be solved. When we do that, we told ourselves also the truth. It is not just to talk. After we finish the talking, we should walk the talk. Action has to come in. So we are hoping that if the National Assembly, nobody wants to take responsibility to solve insecurity. What matters is that we solve insecurity. I also heard when one of the serving chiefs, security chiefs, said that hunger is the reason for insecurity. Okay, let them come and say, hunger has been in Nigeria for, hunger cannot even go today, or it's been there. So, but everybody have their own things to present. So when that is done, this is actually one of the major things we owe this country in this 10th Assembly, to see if we can contribute our own quota in solving insecurity. And we are hoping that we will have a solution at some point.
Thank you for watching the program NASS Unplugged.